Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Life and Leadership with Shegun Oke. As you join me, please do me a favor. I need to know you are there. So just say something in the comments. Let me know that you are there tonight. All right, Femi Ashaju, I see you. Good evening. Favor Onoja, good evening. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Everybody, as you come in, let me know you are here. Joseph Aduku, good evening. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining me. Now, do me a big favor. As you join, please send a link to somebody. Put a link on a WhatsApp group you belong to. Let's remind as many people as possible. Let's invite as many people as possible. Josephine Alabi, I see you. You're welcome. Fumi Abino, I see you. You're welcome. Wisdom Johnson, good evening. Thank you for joining me here right now. Thank you for being here. So go ahead. Share the link with somebody. Invite somebody to join us right now. Oluwa Damilola Owolabi, I see you. You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Everybody, as you join in, send the link to somebody. We're just going to wait for just about a minute or so. All right, Jim Sword, I see you. You're welcome. Thank you for joining me. Please make sure share the broadcast with somebody, share the link with somebody, invite somebody right away. Okay, put the link to this live broadcast on a WhatsApp group you belong to. Put it in a group you belong to. Put it on your status, wherever you can. Put the link and just invite as many people as possible. It's the grand finale of Book Talk. And of course, we are talking about the 5 big ideas. We've been at this for quite a while. We took a break about a week or so to The Forge, just to focus, on The Forge. And that's why we deferred the grand finale to tonight. Eunice Samuel, I see you. You are welcome. Okay. Invite as many people as possible as we get down to work tonight. Okay. Once again, I welcome everybody to the grand finale of the 5 big ideas. It's our book talk on the 5 big ideas. For those who are not familiar with the book or where this book came from, 10 years ago, almost 10 years ago, it's going to be 10 years in January that I released the checklist. So about 10 years ago, I caught this idea. What became the 5 big ideas was actually the introduction to the checklist. But over the years, these ideas, these concepts, just kept evolving till they became what they are today. And I'm excited to let you all know that by first quarter of 2026, I'm going to release the 10th anniversary edition of the checklist. It's going to be expanded, it's going to be updated with insights and ideas that I've been sharing over the years that did not make it to the original book. So we're going to have the 10th anniversary edition of the checklist. But let's finalize this. Let's finish what we've been doing for a few weeks now on the 5 big ideas. The 5 big ideas. Of course, these principles, let me remind you, were extracted from the parable of Minas as documented by Dr. Luke in his book by the same name, Luke, chapter 19. When you read that parable, of course, told by Jesus, you will realize that the people in the world could be divided into 3 categories. Or let's say it this way. There are 3 types of people in the world. And as you listen to me now, you are likely to be in one of them or in one of the categories. There are 3 types of people in the world. we have the performer, we have the mediocre, and we have the flop. The performer is that 10x guy, the guy that makes the most of his opportunities, that person that turns 1 to 10. Okay, that's the performer. The mediocre is the average guy. Left to me, I will call him the worst of the pack because he loses as much as he gains. Okay, and that's the man that most of us will advocate for, the common man, the middleman. He is not the best, but when he looks over his shoulder, he is quick to see people that he is a little better than the man in the middle. That is the mediocre. And then, of course, we have the flop. The flop is that person that is trapped by fear. He never ventures out. He is so insecure that he follows his own counsel. He is a victim of himself. That is the flop. Now, what we're doing with the principles, okay, that we're sharing, that we call the 5 big ideas, you see, if you clearly understand these principles and you practice them, they will prevent you from being a flop, and then they will just propel you from mediocrity to excellence. That's what the 5 big ideas, is all about. Let me say it again. If you clearly understand these principles I'm sharing with you and you practice them, they will prevent you from being a flop, and they will just propel you from mediocrity to excellence. There are 5 of them, and we have looked at 3 of them before now. Tonight, we are going to look at the last 2. But let me remind you of what we have covered before now. The first one says that success begins with responsibility. Success begins with responsibility. And what we are saying is that successful people are not lucky. They are responsible. They quit the blame game early enough and they take responsibility for their own destiny. Successful people are not lucky. They are responsible. That's the first principle. Success begins with responsibility, and we are telling you that if you are going to succeed, you get to a point in your life where you say to yourself, everybody has tried their best or everybody has done their worst. Okay, from now on, it is up to me. If I fail, it's nobody's fault. Okay, and I'm going to do whatever it is that I have to do to get to wherever I need to get to in life. That's what it means to take responsibility. We moved on from there to the second principle. The second principle says that good intentions are not good enough. Good intentions are not good enough. I said to you that you may be acknowledged for your effort, but you will only be rewarded for results. If you are going to be successful, you have to learn to follow through, okay, from good intentions. You have to match your good intentions with commensurate action. In other words, if your input is not getting you the outcome that you desire, don't just throw your hands up and say, I've tried my best. Review your input, okay? Question your input, rejig, look for something to adjust in the input, because if your input is excellent, your outcome will be excellent, okay? If your input is excellent, your outcome will be excellent. This is what we're trying to say. If you have tried your best and you are not getting desired results, the adjustment is with you. You make the adjustment. There's always something you can improve, okay? But intentions are not good enough. Don't judge yourself by intentions, because nobody is judging you by your intentions. Everybody is judging you by your performance. They are looking at your patterns. They are looking at the results that you have brought to the table. So you want to what? You want to do the same thing. From there, we moved on to the third principle. Okay? The third principle says that if you don't use it, you will lose it. If you don't use it, you will lose it. That's the third principle. And I told you, okay, that unused potential does not stay dormant. It decays. Unused potential does not stay dormant. It decays. In other words, what you have right now is not an accurate measurement of your value. If you don't do something with what is in your hand, you are likely to lose it. There are people who think they have a few challenges or one or two issues with their marriages, but they are not handling those issues very well. As far as every other person is concerned, you are married. But in the reality, you are already separated, you are already divorced. Because you see, unused things, okay, unused potential does not stay dormant, it decays. If you are not moving forward, you are moving backwards. So we want to make sure that you are making the most of what is in your hand. Now, those are the first three principles that we covered. Today we're going to move on to principle number 4 and principle number 5. And this is principle number 4. It says that you can always do better. That's principle number 4. You can always do better. Something I said in the book is that one of the most dangerous places to live is the comfort zone. Okay, a lot of times we give a bad name or a terrible name to the concept of comfort zone, so much that when some of us find ourselves there, because we've always described comfort zone as a bad place, we really become oblivious, okay, when we get there. You see, a comfort zone is cozy, it's predictable, it is safe. But a comfort zone is the graveyard of greatness. A comfort zone is a graveyard of greatness. Let me describe it for you. You see, it's possible for someone to have been working hard, you've been toiling, you've been trying your best, and then you catch a break. All right? You catch a break. You get some respite. You succeed, okay, as it were. You moved from level 1 to level 2. If you have been at level 1 for a very long time, when you move to level 2, you breathe some fresh air. You feel better. You feel good. It is a comfortable place. It's a cozy place, but you must realize that your next level is supposed to be your launching pad for the next level. That from level 2, you are supposed to move to level 3. From level 3, you are supposed to move to level 4. So your comfort zone really at inception is your breakthrough. It is that place where you have aspired, where you have dreamt of being, and you can get there and get trapped by the comfort of your comfort zone. And that's why we're telling you, okay, that you can always do better. For example, in the parable of Minas, there were 10 servants and they were all given the same opportunity. Yet, when their master when their master returned, their results was not the same. One produced 10, one produced 5, and then one produced nothing. And this is what we're trying to tell you. Someone somewhere with exactly the same opportunity and the same challenges is producing greater results. So no matter what you have produced, don't stay there forever. As long as you have breath in your nostrils, you can break your own records, you can make progress, you can move forward. My message to you tonight is that you beware of mediocrity. Beware of mediocrity. You see, mediocrity does not mean terrible. Mediocrity means average. Mediocrity whispers, at least I'm not at the bottom. I'm doing okay. Okay? But this is the danger. Average is the enemy of excellence. Average is the enemy of excellence. This is what I'm going to tell you to do. Stop measuring yourself by people who are below you, and start measuring yourself by people of commensurate capacity. I'm trying to tell you that you were not designed to blend in. You were designed to stand out. So don't settle for good enough when you can achieve greatness, when you can move to a higher level. You see, mediocrity will rob you of fulfillment. Because people may be praising you and telling you that you have tried or you are doing okay, but deep within you, you know, this is not my best. I can do better than this. Okay? There was a time I was not here, but now that I am here, I still know there's a strong witness within me that this is not where I was coming. There is more in me. And so what do? You keep pushing. You keep pressing. You don't evaluate yourself based on other people who are doing worse or, doing not as good as you are doing. You target the best, okay? Your best. In the book, I talked about, a student. He scored 55% on an exam. And when he was asked, how do you feel about it? He said, I'm fine. I passed. But then he was asked, what was your goal? And then he admitted, my goal was 80%. 80%. But then he scored 55%. But because 55% was passed, I mean, some people failed, he said to himself, I'm okay, at least I passed. See, but if his goal was 80% and he scored 55%, based on that, he failed. Do you understand? Because real success is not what you achieve compared to others. Real success is what you achieved compared to what you could have achieved. All right? What you could have achieved. So, by his own standards, he failed. If your goal is 80% and you score 55%, you did not hit your goal. I am telling you to not subscribe the success of other people to either luck, okay, or talent. And or maybe the way we Christians like to say it, grace. You just say, that guy is just the grace of God that is on his life. Listen to me. All of us are gifted. All of us have grace. The Bible says that the grace of God has appeared to all men. Okay? So there's somebody somewhere with your gift, with your opportunities, with your talents, but with a different attitude. And so the person is producing greater results. And what I am saying to you is, you could, that person who is ever growing, who is ever evolving, who is ever, delivering greater results than he ever delivered. I've said this to you before. You are a seed. Nature of immense potential. What that means is that whatever it is that you have achieved, as long as you are still alive, you can break your own records. You can achieve much more. That's the example we have of Caleb in the Bible. In the book of Joshua, chapter 14, at the age of 85, Caleb declared, give me that mountain. 85 is that age where others are already slowing down. See, but Caleb believed that he could conquer much more. So he said to Joshua, give me that mountain. And I'm asking you to do the same thing. Don't settle. Okay? Don't stop moving. Don't stop making progress. Don't stop dreaming. Don't stop aspiring, because there is more within you. I've got something I wrote in the book. I just want to read it out to you the way I wrote it in the book. I said, mediocrity is comfortable because it compares you with others. Excellence is uncomfortable because it compares you with yourself. The real question is not, am I better than them? The real question is, am I better than I was yesterday? And the answer to that question can always be yes, if you are willing to stretch. At this point, we are telling you, you can always do better. It does not matter. I've said this before. If you are the wisest person in the room, it is not because you are the wisest. It is simply because you are in the wrong room. Okay? So you have to learn to walk yourself out of rooms where you seemingly are the best into rooms where perhaps you are the lowest or you are in the middle, so that you can walk your way up. The moment you are the top, listen, I lead an organization, and as far as that organization is concerned, I may be referred to as the number one guy. But one thing I intentionally do is to place myself in rooms and in situations where I am not the teacher, but the student. I am forever following people that I can see, okay, who are producing greater results, who are achieving much more, whose current condition or whose experience is my vision, is my aspiration. Those are the people I want to be around, so that I'm a perpetual student with them. What am I asking you to do? I've got 3 suggestions to make at this point. First, I want you to identify your comfort zone. Okay? Write down one area of your life where you have been coasting. It may be your career, it may be your health, it may be your relationships, it may be your spiritual life. But that area of your life where you have been coasting, I could do better. Okay? In this area, I could perform, I could deliver greater results. Okay? I want you to identify. That's the first thing I want you to do. Then number 2, in that area, I want you to set a higher standard. Let me give an example. You see, when I take my morning walks, when I started, I had this route that would take me about just 15 minutes. Okay, and that's how I started. And it's good for you to start small. See, but after some time, you tell yourself, I can do much more. I can do better. Okay, so I moved from that 15-minute route. I moved to another route that would take me about 26 to 30 minutes. And the first time I tried it, I felt some pains, but I kept pushing. And then after a while, I moved, okay, to this other route. And this is what I do. And this is what I now did. I stopped measuring time and I started using the number of steps, okay, that I took to determine, okay, if this was enough. So I moved from, I started with maybe about 2,000 steps, sometimes. And this route I now take that gives me about 4,000 to 4,500 steps, okay, at once, will take me almost about, say, about 35 to 40 minutes. Okay, and that's where I've been pushing. Okay, I'm going to push that to perhaps the beginning of next year, and then I'll say to myself, I'm going to push it harder. Okay, I'm going to do much more. I'm going to do much more. It does not matter how small, okay, things are, as long as you don't stay small, as long as you are not always just staying on the same spot. Keep piling, keep adding layer upon layer of effort, layer upon layer of effort, okay, and you will be getting better. And of course, that's my third suggestion. Take one stretch step, just one stretch step. Do something this week that pushes you past your average. Okay, maybe it could be walking up an hour. Okay, it may be waking up earlier to study. It may be making extra sales calls or running an extra mile. Whatever it is, it may be making a phone call that you have been putting off for a while. Whatever it is, just go the extra mile this week. 3 suggestions: identify your comfort zone, set a higher standard, and then take one stretch step. And that leads us to the final principle in the 5 big ideas, and it says talent is never enough. Talent is never enough. Like I said in the book, talent is a great starting point, but is a terrible finishing line. Raw talent is like uncut diamond. It's full of potential, but useless until it is refined. What we're saying is that without discipline, without consistency, without responsibility, talent wastes away. Okay? In the parable of Minas, every servant started with the same resource. Okay? Their results, therefore, was not determined by talent, it was determined by what they did with what they were given. And this is what we're trying to say. We're saying that success is not what you are born with. Success is what you do with what you have been given. It's not talent that makes people successful. It is what they combine with talent that made them successful. In the book, I shared the story of a young man in high school who was the star of the basketball team, okay? People were already predicting that he will make it to the pros because he was taller, he was stronger, he was more skilled than everyone else. But while others kept pushing, okay, in practice, he relied on his natural ability, and slowly they closed the gap. Okay, by the time they got to college, every other person had surpassed him, and he never made it to play professional basketball not because he lacked talent, but because he lacked discipline. And I'm saying to you, if you are going to go the distance, you can't afford to rely on your talent. You have to rely on discipline, on consistency, on intentionality. I am saying to you that talent may open the door, but it is hard work that will keep you in the room. You see, talent is like a pencil. No matter how expensive or well crafted, it won't write until it is sharpened. We are saying that talent without discipline is wasted potential. Let me say that again. Talent without discipline is wasted potential. Let's consider Joseph in the Bible. He was gifted with dreams and the ability to interpret dreams, but his talent alone did not get him to the palace. It was his faithfulness in small things. Okay, when he was in Potiphar's house, when he managed the prison, when he stayed disciplined in the face of temptation, these were the things that got him where he needed to go in life. All right, talent may prepare him for leadership, but it is the discipline that truly made him a leader. Like I said before, talent may open the door, but it is character that will keep you in the room. The same could be said of Michael Jordan. Of course, he's often referred to as the greatest basketball player of all time. And yes, he was very talented, but he was not the only one that was talented. What set him apart was his relentless work ethic. And I'm asking us to follow such examples. Okay, Michael Jordan practiced harder than every other person. He pushed himself beyond his limits and he refused to settle for talent alone. And that's why he became a legend. We can say the same thing for Cristiano Ronaldo. Everybody has said concerning him, it's not just his gift, but his work ethic that has made him a superstar. So you see, the critical question is is not what has God given me. The real question is, what am I doing with what God gave me? And I want to turn that question over to you right now. What are you doing with what God gave you? Talent may give you a head start. I don't know if you remember, way in elementary school, in high school, we had some of those friends of ours who were very gifted, very talented. They don't need to read, they don't need to study. Okay. Some of them seemingly had photographic memories. Whatever they were taught in class, they could just remember. They were like sponges. But when we leave school and we begin to live in the real world, you find out that, you see, the world does not respond to formulas that we learned in class. The world does not respond even to grades. The world responds to growth. The world responds to stamina, mental stamina, emotional intelligence. And that's the reason why you have to keep working on your talent, okay? Working on yourself and adding value. Don't just rest on your talent alone, because with talent alone, you won't go very far. If there's anything you must remember, everybody is gifted, everybody is talented. So what's going to set you apart is not talent, it is what you do with your talent. I want to make 4 suggestions and then we can wrap it up today. Okay, you want to make sure you go the distance. I'm going to ask you to identify your talents. Okay, start with saying, you know what, I can do this, I can do this, I can do this. Maybe 2 or 3 natural abilities or strengths. Identify them. Then choose one of them that you are going to sharpen, maybe in the next 1 quarter or in the next 6 months, and say, you know what, I'm going to focus on this talent. I want to get sharper in this area. That's my second suggestion. Number 1, define your talent. You see, we are not all equally gifted. There are certain things that you can do very well, and your potential for growth is higher in an area of strength. That's why you want to start from where you are strong. And then in those areas where you are strong, pick at least one per time that you want to sharpen. For somebody, you may say, okay, you know what, I want to develop my communication skill. Another person, for example, you may be strong when it comes to empathy, and you may want to say, you know what, I want to grow in that area, so I am going to develop this area. And then number 3, add discipline. Okay, and this is what I mean. Devise a specific routine to practice. Define a specific routine that you're going to practice regularly so that you can become stronger in that area. For example, if you're a speaker, you may want to commit to rehearsing weekly. If you're a writer, you may want to commit to writing daily. Okay, I'll give an example. When I'm working on a book, this is what I say to myself. As long as I can write a page on any subject, I'm making progress. So sometimes all I do in a day is just write a page. Write a page. You see, what becomes a book eventually is if you will not give up writing every day. It doesn't matter how smart, how intelligent what you're writing is, just write every day. Write every day. Some people say they have mental block or writer's block. And writer's block really is listening, okay, to the voice of your own flesh. If you would just keep writing, you will go past what seemingly is the block and you will hit a flow. So just keep at it. Keep at it. All right? Keep at it. And then number 4, I'm going to advise you to check your character. Ask yourself, am I building the discipline and the integrity to sustain my opportunities when they come? Check yourself from time to time. What am I doing? Am I building character? Am I building discipline? When it comes to the opportunity that I expect, am I doing the things necessary for me to make the most of my opportunities? If you are not doing that, then you know exactly what to do. Pick the area you want to focus on. Define the discipline and then commit to it every day. And in a short while, you will see yourself delivering better results, okay? Delivering excellent results. Let's remind ourselves. We've been talking about the 5 big ideas, and this is what we are saying. If you want to go the distance, if you want to truly be successful, these are 5 principles you must walk into the fabric of your life. These are not things to remember. These are principles that you must understand and that you must practice on a daily basis. So let's look at the 5 of them together as we begin to round up. The 5 big ideas. Success begins with responsibility. Good intentions are not good enough. If you don't use it, you will lose it. You can always do better. Talent is never enough. I give you just perhaps 10 or 15 seconds to look at these principles one more time. Success begins with responsibility. Good intentions are not good enough. If you don't use it, you will lose it. You can always do better. And finally, talent is never enough. At this point, I want to be a little bit interactive. So I'm going to ask you, out of these 5 principles, we're just going to use numbers because of space and so that we can respond quickly. So out of these 5 principles, which one is your strongest? In which area are you the strongest? And in which area do you need to make adjustments? So for example, somebody may say, success begins with responsibility. I think in that area, I am very strong. So you say 1. And then maybe you may say, talent is not enough. I think I need to grow. I need to master that one. Then that is 5. So for you, you will say 1 and 5. All right. So quickly in the charts, I want you to put in the charts, what's your combination? Where are you strong? And where do you need, some help? Where do you need improvement? Okay. I would look if we can have an average. It may determine where I may want to focus on, okay, going forward. Where you are strong should be the first number, and where you need help should be the second number. So somebody may say 1 and 2. Another person may say 3 and 1. Another person may say 4 and 3. I mean, whichever way. But I want to check in the comments. I want to read from you, and I'm waiting to read from you. So quickly, put something in the comments for me. Evaluate yourself. Out of the 5, which area are you strong? Let me put it up again. Which area are you strong? And which area do you need help? Quickly, I'm waiting for you. Where are you strong and where do you need help? Put it in the comments. Okay, the first person is the Eunice Samuel. You're strong at number 1 and you want to work on number 5. Okay. Any other person wants to share? Where are you strong? Where do you want to work? Okay, Joseph Aduku says you're strong with number 1 and you need help with number 2. Good intentions are not good enough. All right. I'm excited. At least the first 2 people, you have responsibility figured out. You're not playing the blame game. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. All right. So we have 1 and 5. We have 1 and 2. I'm going to wait for 5 more responses. Quickly, 5 more responses, and I'll move on. Okay. Josephine 2 says 1 and 2. You want to develop or you want to grow in the area of moving from intentions to corresponding action. That's good. All right. Moira says 1 and 4. Okay, you can always do better. All right, thank you very much. 3 more responses. I'm leaving it on the screen so that everybody can continue to look at it. 3 more responses, and we can call it a night. Okay. I believe wisdom means 1 and 3. 1 and 3. I may have an idea of that's your 3, but we'll talk. That if you don't use it, you will lose it. I may have an idea of what you're talking about. Okay, one more person, one more response before we go. One more response before we go. Just one more response and then we can wrap it up. One more person. Okay, so we have 1 and 5. We have 5 and 1. Okay, that's interesting. That's interesting. That's interesting. Okay, thank you very much, everybody, for your response. Okay, what I'm going to ask is that you're evaluating yourself already means that you are taking responsibility. You know that there's room for improvement. Okay, we have another 1 and 5. That's good. You know there's room for improvement. What you need to do, especially in this season, okay, especially for those of us who are of the Hill City, tribe, this is our season of evaluation, okay, and preparation for a new season. So you want to make sure that you truly take out time to decide what are you going to do differently as you approach a new season. Okay, what are you going to do differently as you approach a new season? And if you're listening to me and you don't have a copy of the book or you have not read the book, it's absolutely free. Okay, it's absolutely free. If you will come to Hill City on a Sunday morning, and it's your first time or your first time in 3 months, you are entitled to a free copy of this book. So do yourself that favor. Come on Sunday, whether in Ikeja or Lekki. And let me share this with you. Every Sunday in November, we are evaluating the year and preparing for the new year in this series titled, Are We There Yet? And that's what we're going to start talking about from this Sunday. Are we there yet? Okay, I know for most people the answer is no, we are not there yet. Okay, the question is, what are we going to do to get there? Okay, those are the things we're going to start talking about from this Saturday. All right. Thank you very much for being a part of tonight's broadcast. If you have any question, quickly you can put the question in the chat and I will respond to your question. And if you want to send me your question directly and you want me to respond to you directly, then you can send me a direct message on my Instagram account, or you may want to send me an email, shegunoke@gmail.com or pshegs@hillcityng.org. If you send me a message on any of those platforms, I will respond to you quickly. But you may want to also perhaps put it in the comments right now as we begin to draw the curtains, not only on this conversation, but perhaps on life and leadership for 2025. I'm still thinking about it. My mind is not made up yet whether I will do 1 or 2 sessions in December, but this may be it for a while. Because in the next 2 weeks or thereabout, I have some other assignments that's going to take my attention, okay, for about the next 2 weeks, okay, and so that's the reason why I'm saying this might be the final edition for the year. If not, you would see an information, you will see announcement on my Instagram account, okay, and other platforms. But if you are in London, okay, then I've got good news for you. The checklist experience is coming your way. We're going to be in London. We're going to be in Birmingham. All right. If you are in London on the 16th of November, Sunday, the 16th of November, the checklist experience will be holding at Global Harvest Church, okay, in Dartford. So if you are in the city of London, you may want to join us. All right, 11 a.m. On Sunday, the 16th of November. And if you are in Birmingham, the checklist experience is coming to you on Saturday and Sunday, the 22nd and the 23rd of November at 12 noon. If you have friends in Birmingham, please let them know. Spread the word. Of course, publicity is going to roll out from perhaps next week. So please tell everybody in the city of London the checklist experience is coming your way. It's physical, it's live. All right. I'm going to be there in person. So tell your friends, tell your family members, tell your loved ones, okay, to be at the checklist experience. It promises to be a mind shift and a life transforming experience. And but for those in the city of Lagos, we've got some good news for you also, because on the 6th of December, there is this beautiful dinner holding at Hill City on the 6th of December. The time is 4 p.m. Okay, it's a dinner event for both singles and married people, and it promises to be fun. Hey, you have worked hard all year. Come and kick your shoes and let's have some fun together. Admission is not free. Singles will pay 10K while the couples will pay 20,000. This is what it means. If you are coming by yourself, you get to pay 10,000. If you are coming with somebody else, then you pay 20,000. So when we say couples, we don't necessarily mean married couples. All right, you can be two singles who are coming together or a married couple. All right, it's 20,000. You register together, and if you want to come alone, you register with 10,000 naira. Come, let's have some fun together. Let's learn and let's laugh together. Let's have a good time, okay? Together on the 6th of December. For those who don't know, that is 24 hours to my wedding anniversary, so you don't want to miss that for anything. Let's come, let's have some fun together. All right, if we've learned together this year, we've grown together, we've made progress together this year, come, let's celebrate together as we begin to wind down the year 2025. It's been a beautiful year, all right, I believe for you too. So let's come, let's celebrate, let's have some good time together. If there's somebody you're really interested in, this is an opportunity for you to get the two of you, to come out and sit down and talk and have a good time, all right? So, in the absence of any question, let's call it a night. Thank you very much for being a part of today's broadcast. Thank you for listening. Thank you for contributing. This is what I want you to do. If you are not yet a subscriber to my channel, then you want to make sure you subscribe before you leave tonight. And after now, do me a favor. Share this video with as many people as possible. Help me to bless as many lives as you can. Thank you very much, and God bless you. I'll see you some other time. Bye-bye.